Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Yeah, well, you kind of confused me.
I know. All right, open public meetings act statement, please.
Pursuant to the Open Public Meetings Act, adequate notice of this meeting was forwarded to official township newspapers, posted on the bulletin board and township website. This meeting has been video tape policy on channel 9.
Roll call.
Mr. Doyle?
Here.
Mrs. Slade?
Here.
Mr. Keating?
Here.
Mr. Marsh?
Here.
Mayor Vernon?
Here. We're going to go out of order here a little bit. A couple resolutions recognizing retirement and authorizing activation. So can I get a motion for resolution 10823, recognizing the retirement of K-9 Officer Titan?
To make sure he goes gets him.
He's retired.
I know, but we okay. I make a motion for R10823.
Second.
Mr. Doyle?
Yes.
Mrs. Slade?
Yes.
Mr. Marsh?
Yes.
Mr. Keating?
Yeah.
Mayor Vernon?
Yes. What? Yes, sir. Can I get a motion to approve resolution 10923, recognizing the authorization and activation of K-9 Officer ZEUS?
I'd like to make a motion for R10923.
Second.
Mr. Doyle?
Yes.
Mrs. Slade?
Yes.
Yes.
Mr. Marsh?
Yes.
Mayor Vernon?
Yes.
I don't know. I'm gonna watch out.
You should help him. Will they walk in?
Does he need help? I'll help him. I would help him.
Don't grab the right dog. Don't grab the mean one.
Titan. Take Titan.
All right, so
Is that
first
me
of
one?
all, I want to thank the Township Committee for supporting the police department. A lot of great things going on, and we couldn't do all of that without their support. So that's number one. Number two, very sad day in Gloucester County this week as Officer Schischler passed away. So I just want to let everybody know that we'll be attending the funeral next week, and we've helped out Denver Township. Helping them control their town while they're going through this. So that's another, positive thing, and the committee supports us to do for our brothers and sisters that are going through a lot right now. So I want to thank them for that. Third thing is, great thing tonight, we're introducing a new canine. His name is ZEUS. I'll tell you a little bit about ZEUS. ZEUS is a 3-year-old German Shepherd who was imported from Slovakia. He began his patrol training with Tar Heel Canine Training in North Carolina. On September 26, 2022, he began his training alongside Officer Gallo at the New Jersey Police Canine Association, and he is certified as a dual-purpose patrol narcotics dog. And he's going to continue his in-service training with the Philadelphia Police Academy, which he started on May 2nd, 2023. So, David, you want to bring... This is, I want to introduce our new officer, ZEUS, to the public. ZEUS, we got you a little gift. So you're going to get some nice toys and some treats to go home with. And yes, he will. He will definitely tear them apart. So, Dave, do you want to say anything about ZEUS?
No, he's only been on the street for a week now. He's definitely being used.
Yeah, so the reason that we had to retire Titan was that he was duly trained in the scent of marijuana, and when marijuana laws changed in New Jersey, you can't reverse his training. So we weren't able to use him anymore. So ZEUS is cross-trained in obviously patrol, tracking, and we utilize it a lot for tracking and stuff like that, and also narcotics protection. So once again, congratulations to ZEUS, and we're looking forward to him working with us. Next, Officer Gallo is going to be bringing in Titan. This little little bit about Titan. Titan is a 6-year-old Labrador Retriever who is a single-purpose narcotics detection dog that has served with the Franklin Township Police Department for 4 years. Prior to serving with Franklin Township, he served with the Chester County Sheriff's Department for 1 year in Pennsylvania, and he trained with the John Sunnyberg Canine Academy in Atlantic County. Titan was a very good dog and had a lot of deployments. Some of his highlights in his career, he's responsible for assisting our officers with numerous arrests for possessing and distributing illegal narcotics throughout our community. Some of his most notable accomplishments include locating 1.2 kilograms of cocaine, along with $40,000 in illegal cash from drug sales, and that was from a house that we did a search warrant in probably about 3 years ago. He's also responsible for locating over 1 pound of methamphetamine and 2 illegal handguns. Along with being a successful narcotics detection dog, Canine Titan was also a skilled tracker who located several missing suicidal subjects and also located an armed home invasion suspect after tracking him for over a mile through a wooded area. So Titan had a very illustrious career here. He is, like I said, a black lab, and he's a little more lovable than Zeus. So we want to congratulate Titan on his retirement. He'll still be available to us to go in and out of our schools and stuff like that, you know, on an as-needed basis. But as you can see, Titan very excited. So big round of applause for Titan. A gift basket as for retirement. So I want to thank Officer Gallo. He's been with us since we took over Newfield. He was a Newfield officer for many years. He's going on about his 19th or 20th year in law enforcement, and he does a great job for us. So Titan's going to go off into retirement, and Zeus will be out there working the streets. Thanks again.
Did you get that? I'm kind of sad, but you wouldn't have thought that how much was it for, right? That could be $10. That's not even worth it. $10. That's funny. All right, can I get a motion over the first public portion for resolutions and ordinances below?
I make a motion for the first public portion for resolutions and ordinances below.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye. Good evening, Nancy Kennedy, 711 St. George Street. I just wanted to take a minute and congratulate the officers and their families for all that they do to make the police dogs be a reality for our township. Mike, I wanted to take a minute and thank you. When you were a sergeant and I was the administrator and we were thinking about temporarily housing the ambulance in the dog kennel because we didn't have dogs, and you said, listen, it's a horrible idea, we're going to have dogs, you were 100% right, and it's turned out to be such a blessing. So thank you for your help in that regard. And Heather, I remember when we didn't have dogs and we had a Township Committee woman who was completely devoted to bringing them, and in fact insisted that as administrator I bring cakes to the meetings for them when they would be here. So I just wanted to take a minute and thank you for your involvement in that as well. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. I love the dogs. I love the dogs.
Good evening, Cindy Marks. I have a question on the resolution. I see we're going to accept a grant for recreation. And I think it's like $78,000, is that right?
778, yeah.
Yeah, oh good. I see Mr. Finley. Thank you for getting us a grant for $78,000 for recreation. I just wanted to know, have you any plans, and what plans do you have for using that?
First priority is going to be the hockey rink.
Okay.
We're going to get prices for that, correct? And then we'll go from there and see what's left over. The rest of it, I believe, has to stay at Pennsylvania Avenue, correct?
It does not.
Oh, okay.
We put in for there, Mountain Park, and actually, over Lake we put in multiple projects. 78,000 is, we put out the money and then we get reimbursed for it. So it's not a match or anything like that. So we laid out some projects, Brian and I went through some projects. And we'll see what the costs are.
The reason I ask is Malaga Park is pretty busy during the summer months. Especially, we have a lot of tournaments, vast tournaments from a lot of different clubs that are in this area. The boat ramp, they did a good job of it a couple of years ago. They had to repair it because it has different things that are going on with it. And it's a floating dock now, which is good, but it's still narrow in that area. And some of the larger boats, what they're doing is they're using the back beach area, and it gets tore up, the whole area in that section, that it needs to be regraded. So I just wanted to kind of put that in your ear, that that area might be something you want to just take a look at. I mean, you know, look, if you got money, I want to make sure that my area and some of the, you know, things that I see on a regular basis, you know, because of that park.
I know a couple of the slides could use some help over there.
The park, as far as the, you know.
Like when I first came here, the metal slide that had been there for years finally gave up its ghost. So.
Right. Mike, are you still on recreation?
Yes.
Good. You know what, your minutes online, like, they're not up, they haven't been up since 2022. Just to let you know, so when you go to the website, we haven't like been able to read, you know, the updates. So that's why I had to ask questions, because usually, you know, you guys are pretty thorough in touching base on what you're doing. So I just wanted to let you know.
I'll talk to Rich about that.
Yeah, that's okay. That's okay. Thank you very much.
Did you see the recreation, the Hockey League did approve for us to have the flooring about 2 weeks ago? Okay.
I've been playing fun tag with SB.
Okay, let's, I would suggest that we get in touch with them, because the Hockey League has approved Franklin Township as our hockey rink to have the raised floor, so that makes it better from the water or any kind of thing that's underneath. So if we coordinate with them prior to just jumping in, I think it would be a good idea. Yeah, well, I think that the approval was that they were helping fund it, so I want you to check into that for that reason.
She told us that last year that would be about 80 to 100,000.
Yeah, but they had a meeting like 2 weeks ago, so.
Taking your time, though.
I just wanted to see if you could turn the mics on or up. It's very hard to hear in the back of the room with the air conditioner. I don't know. Hello? I mean, there's nothing. I don't know if there's a way to turn it on or up if someone hears. Yours seems to be working, but very slightly.
I don't
know if anyone knows how to do that.
Touch it might break.
I think they're paying for it. I think they're paying for the decking. That's a revenue. I know.
But that was already in the works. Can I motion to close the first public portion?
I make a motion to close the first public portion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Can I get a motion to approve correspondence and reports?
I make a motion to approve the correspondence and reports.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Can I get a motion to approve the minutes from April 25th, 2023?
Make a motion to approve the minutes.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion to approve the bill list.
Make a motion to approve the bill list.
Second.
Mr. Doyle?
Yes.
Mrs. Lane?
Yes.
Mr. King?
Yes.
Mr. Marsh?
Yes.
Yes. Can I get a motion to approve the raffle?
Make a motion to approve the raffle.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Can I get a motion to approve the solicitor's report?
I make a motion to approve the solicitor's permit.
Second.
I'm sorry.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, back to resolutions. Resolution 10623, accepting and acknowledging receipt of that fiscal year 2023 local recreation improvement grant award notification.
Make a motion for R 10623.
Second.
Mr. Doyle?
Yes.
Mrs. Lane?
Yes.
Mr. King?
Yes.
Mr. Marsh?
Yes.
Mayor Bruno?
Yes. Need a motion to approve resolution 10723, authorizing the tax collector to grant tax exemption for a totally disabled veteran.
Make a motion for R 10723.
Second.
Mr. Doyle?
Yes.
Mrs. Lane?
Yes.
Mr. King?
Yes.
Mr. Marsh?
Yes.
Mayor Bruno?
Yes. Resolution 11023, appointing Martin Schwartz to the Franklin Township Historical Commission in accordance with the Township Code.
I make a motion for R 11023.
Second.
Mr. Doyle?
Yes.
Mrs. Williams?
Yes.
Mr. Keating?
Yes.
Mr. Marsh?
Yes.
Mayor Bruno?
Yes. Resolution 11123, authorizing the tax collector to grant tax exemption for a totally disabled veteran.
I make a motion for R 11123.
Second.
Mr. Doyle?
Yes.
Mrs. Williams?
Yes.
Mr. Keating?
Yes.
Mr. Marsh?
Yes.
Mayor Bruno?
Yes. Can I get a motion to open the second public portion for any comments?
I make a motion for the second public portion.
Second. All those in favor?
Aye. Is it cutting your tongue?
No, but it's like different.
Still Nancy Kennedy, still 711 St. George Street. So, probably like a lot of residents, I've been getting mail that has to do with upcoming campaigns. And obviously, the campaigns that interest me the most are the ones that affect Franklin Township and Gloucester County. And I've been getting literature related to Gloucester County. Various people are running for different offices. Heather, I've already said I'm very excited to be supporting you, so I won't go too much into that tonight. But I am a little concerned because some of the literature I'm getting I don't fully understand. So I wanted to take a minute, and I know that Mr. Lyons has been very helpful in the past in terms of providing guidance about how the meetings should be run. So Mr. Bruno, I will direct the question to you, and then if you could please pass it along, so to speak. I did receive a flyer that indicated that one of the candidates for Township Committee is Mr. Doyle, and he's running on a platform of honesty and transparency, which of course is exciting and wonderful. But also he mentioned in the flyer that he is a successful businessman and successful business owner. And I'm a little unclear after some conversations, what business does Mr. Doyle actually own?
I'm not going to really get into the, I mean, let's not make this meeting political.
Well, Jake, see, the way...
Okay. Any comments, but I mean...
It is, well, and unfortunately, the case law in New Jersey is very clear that it's of anything that's of public interest to the Township of Franklin, which that certainly is.
It's your comments, it doesn't mean we have to comment back.
You don't. And if Mr. Doyle is running on a platform of transparency and doesn't want to tell us what business he owns, that's fine. It would certainly seem hypocritical and contradictory to me, but that's his right to do so. You know, certainly it's a free country. And I know that
Driving tractors every day, I'm a farmer. It's on the website.
So you don't own a business?
A farm's a business.
A farm's a business? You don't own anything other than a farm?
I own real estate and farms.
Real estate and farms. Perfect. And that answers the question, and I thank you for taking the time to do that. Of greater concern to me than Mr. Doyle's occupation is a number I received that indicated that political parasites and fat cats are in fact trying to trick the residents of Franklin Township. Now that was kind of alarming. I thought, man, who would do such a horrible, nasty thing? But then I'm surprised when I found out it was me. I'm trying to trick people. Leave Vasallo, somebody who has more integrity than a lot of people, trying to trick people. Howard Kennedy, a former mayor, trying to trick people. Joe Patch, a former mayor, his daughter with whom all of you sit, except maybe John and Mike, trying to trick people. Laura Martha, who used this facility for low or no cost for your own fundraiser, Tim, trying to trick people. A fat cat, a parasite. Poor Kevin Kelton got lumped in there. I'm not sure where he came from. He's a good guy. Again, a little disturbing to see his name. And anyone who knows Diane Trace, I'll diverge from my point for just a second. Anyone who knows Diane Trace knows that she is the opposite of a puppet. Anyone who knows the Vasallo family knows you can try to tell those people what to do all day long, and at the end of the day, they're going to do what they believe God calls them to do, and they're going to do the right thing. Also different than someone else running for Township Committee. I didn't get him thrown out. I've only known him for a very short period of time. But I tried to give him advice on the campaign trail, and he hasn't taken it. He's followed his own opinion and his own belief, and I admire that very much as well. So, we have this flyer with all these people that you used to support you, that you used to campaign for you, that you used their resources, their good names, their years of service to this township, selfless service to this township. And you put out a political flyer and you bash them.
You made the list. It's
It's a public document. I didn't write the list. You made it. So apologize if you don't like the list. You made the list.
The list is
I don't have a link to it. It's a public document.
You're right.
You made the list. You should have thought about it a little better. You didn't show it on the front page when you signed it. You made the list.
I do love your lack of understanding and your willingness to show it off. The list that you put on this mailing is actually a petition that those individuals signed.
In order, unedited, and it's a public document.
Wilson was taken off because she supported the people.
1 through 10. I can count to 10.
Here's the thing, I'm going to ask for maybe 1 more minute since I was interrupted numerous times. But, come on, Jake, you owe me. Here's the bottom line. Well, I got ridiculous answers, but people can figure that out. Here's the bottom line. Don't come to Franklin. Don't use abilities to do all kinds of things for you. Keep on warrior, you'll get your chance if you want it, and turn around and stab them in the back.
It's your list.
No, honey.
A little better.
Tim, learn what a petition is before the next election. Thanks.
It took her all week to write that.
We've been hot tonight, Porter Johnson. You got a leak.
Yep, they're chick. Good evening. My name's Sophie Porter, 2787 East Grand Avenue. I guess I got to follow a pattern. I guess we got to talk to you directly, Jake.
It's for your comments.
Okay, so my comment is, I really have a question for Heather. Back in May, you voted against Mr. DeCesare to be the deputy chief.
May of last year.
27 May. You voted against him.
Correct.
You had some questions and concerns. So your concerns were about his affiliation with the Little League. Last meeting, you praised him for how well he's done with the Little League, and you still did that.
I think you're confusing two issues. It was coaching time over at Delsey and having to coach the Little League, and I just wanted to make sure, as one of my points, that he would be able to handle both things.
So I ask you now,
Yes.
do you believe that he can do that, and that vote that you made before was...
Well, the reason I voted no was not that I didn't think he had the integrity or the ability to do so. It was that I didn't have my questions answered. So without an answer at that time, I did have to vote no.
So I'll ask you now. Again.
Yes, Deputy Chief DeCesare has all the capability and my support in the world.
Do we think that we owe him an apology? He had all them Little Leaguers here, family and friends here. I'm not a fan of Matt. I think
Avenue her and Matt have had multiple conversations, and
okay, it's just something that was brought up and you said.
We met afterwards, and I told him exactly how I was thinking, and we had our words, and I think we're okay.
Perfect. The other thing was that, again, for Heather, you, when the sprawling, everybody got up and they were talking about sprawling, you had made a statement on you support the majority. Okay, you want to say something?
No, I'm trying to figure out where you're going.
So you had said about supporting the majority. So my question is this: since we're talking about campaign literature, there was a campaign literature that put out that you called the current president and the current governor, who was voted in by the majority, and voted by everybody, so it's Democrats, Republicans, Independent, jackasses.
I did?
Well, it's your flyer that came out. You were on it. It was you supported that literature to go out. Did you not see the literature?
I don't recall this time. I apologize.
That's okay. I received it.
I believe you, but I have to go back and look at it.
It's just because you go with the majority, you say that majority is the majority. The current president and the current governor is voted by the majority.
so we suffer through that every day.
It's okay to have that opinion, but when you make a statement saying that the majority
I believe what you're referring to is that I support the majority for sprawl, and that I would like to see a vote on the ballot to be able to support that. So if the majority of the residents said that they were for the redevelopment zone, then I would say, it shouldn't be made by 5 people. So if that's the context of what you're speaking of, that would be
Not just that you say it's a majority, sort of majority. Last thing is, in 2016, after my husband passed away, it took you less than a week to change your party affiliation from independent to Democrat, 8 months before you could actually take the seat because of litigation, which was another selfish thing. It was a Democratic seat, it should have been sit by a Democrat. Shortly after that, you changed to a Republican. So it's obvious that these are all political for you and political stunts that you'll just switch your party, do whatever, just to get to where you want to be. So I'm going to ask you now, if you should be successful in your upcoming election, will you make a campaign promise right here, right now, not to hire the same people that your party refused to hire that came against them? The people that constantly stroke you, pat you on the back and everything else and bunts everybody else down? Can you make a campaign promise to that?
I need to know the people, because I'm not sure exactly.
How about one from Town? That's why I was just brought up.
Oh, I'm going to hire them?
I said, can you make a campaign promise not to, if you were successful in your election?
Okay, I just need to see that list of 1 through 10.
So you don't even know who signed the petitions?
I do know who signed my petition, yes.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, it's a long 5 minutes. It's 5 minutes. It takes forever. It feels like 10. It's 5 minutes. That's long. 5 minutes is 5 minutes.
Fire Kennedy, 1578 Friars Mill Road. It was great to hear from Thank you. This mic is really weak. I hope not intentionally. But in any case, it's great to hear Renee talk about people switching parties. And Renee herself has obviously switched parties and is supporting Mr. Doyle, which is certainly her right. Many people have switched parties over the years. I have switched parties. Ronald Reagan switched parties. It's amazing. When somebody switches parties, if they switch to your party, they're a patriot. If they switch to the other party, they're a traitor. But the interesting thing is that if we want to explore rhinos and people that have been Democrats and people that have sat in other parties and people that have passed out petitions for it, we can do that. But this is the primary. The Marquis of Queensborough rules apply in the primary. I don't attack other Republicans. However, should Tim be on the ballot in the fall, which I very much doubt will happen, the Marquis of Queensborough rules no longer apply. Every man for himself. Because every election is an election about the incumbent. Every election is about the incumbent and the job that has been done. Jim is the only incumbent in the election. Bill Petrovic has never served in an elected office. What Bill Petrovic has done is worked for SCHWARTZ and obviously passed out hundreds, maybe thousands of petitions to fight against that swampland redevelopment. He's sort of proven what he can do, even at an age that's greater than mine. Diane Bastardo Trace has served on the Delsey School Board and served with Peter Sylvia. I believe they work together in tandem, very closely, working together to bring students back to school despite the COVID closure by Governor Murphy. Again, Mr. Fiorello is a chemistry teacher, and I'm sure a wonderful chemistry teacher at Buena High School. But there's only one person with an elected record, and that's Tim Doyle. And this election, people are saying negative things. You're saying things like A, B, C, D. I'm a teacher, I love the alphabet. A, B, C, D are my favorite letters. But in any case, all elections are about the incumbent. If you think Tim Doyle has done a wonderful job, you should. And certainly you're absolutely right. And all the people who work for him have that right. Tim has done a wonderful job in providing for his employees. I sat down and talked to one of his employees for an hour one day, and we talked about the fact that I was a giant Tim fan, and we talked politics, we talked other things, but he said Tim Doyle was great at making money, and I'm sure he is. Tim Doyle is a very good businessman. He had the greatest tax abatement in the history of Franklin Township. The only one that went to a building in a non-blooded zone that was already built. The only one in the history of New Jersey, I'll bet, that was in a new building that was already built. Good for him. Saved him $40,000, at least. And I remember saying to Tim,
I'm going to stop the clock for you. So that tax abatement, this horrible thing that you keep bringing up, I was involved with the town for 15 or 20 years. I never remember anybody getting denied. You can do it for an addition, okay? It doesn't have to be a new building. But this is the irony, folks, and I have copies for everybody. That was in 2016. Here's the notes. In attendance, John Gravener, Tim Doyle, Leah Vassallo, Don Kravetsky, he was on the phone, Nancy Brent. Open meeting at 10:15 a.m., December 22nd, 2016. Discussion of Chuck Star tax abatement for his block and lot. Agreement was unnecessary and delayed. He filled out multiple applications, met all criteria. Nomination by Tim Doyle. Recommended granting abatement by committee, seconded by Nancy Brent. Roll call, all in favor. Next application, nomination to approve Tim Doyle. Seconded by Nancy Brent. Wow. The person that keeps talking about this crooked deal seconded it. Roll call, all in favor. Doyle abstained because it was his application. Gravener and Vassallo voted on, so yes. This is the amazing controversy. It's a public document. I have a copy for everybody. Good. Can you find anything else for us? Sure, Tim. Let me kind of just continue. How? We're not voting for it. It's not my copy. You're disrespecting these people's knowledge. Honestly, you don't get that. You're not getting all the stuff in your ass. I understand. I understand. Timmy, try it on somebody else, okay? Let's talk about your wonderful Rome-Gate $1, let's buy the swampland redevelopment zone. We kicked off the two, the one I'm voting against, kicked off a tip back and put on your crony who made a $1,000 contribution from his family and was a contractor to be on the planning board. And by the way, Tim, where is the request to the Township Committee from the planning board solicitor, Mike Barone, asking you how Rome-Gate ever got there and how it was ever even discussed? You and Jake are both on the planning board. How about if you answer that question before the election? How did you get to Rome-Gate? How did you buy that swampland? Who has the ability to buy it? Who has the option on buying that property? And Tim, how would I know if I also was? So now we never spoke to him. Yes, Mr. Finley did. Why don't you just make a answer to you?
That's not what Mr. Kelly had asked.
That's exactly what he asked, Jake. For the record, Jake, you are trying to hide the same way you will the Oakleys until after the primary. You are trying to be non-transparent. Answer the question for the planning board. Tim, I want you to give $3,000 back. Why don't you?
Take one.
I don't need it, Tim.
Oh, because you know it's true. I got you.
I actually was going, Christina Ridgway, 319 Malik Park Drive. I actually was going to speak about this tax abatement that Mr. Doyle has been harangued about for 2.5 years now. Must be a pretty big deal to some people. And yes, I saw those minutes from the Tax Abatement Committee. And then as well, the very next day was the meeting of the Township Committee, which included that resolution, which in the administrator's report, it said Mrs. Brent reviewed those resolutions. So I guess if they were on the agenda, they must have been good to go. But then here we fast forward to January of 21 with, a highly qualified solicitor that is realizing how many errors were made by the previous generation, which included the fact that that abatement should have been done in the form of an ordinance. So when that correction was being made, then suddenly everyone wants to fight the fact that this abatement they approved went through in the first place. Now, Mrs. Flame, were you not first seated to the Township Committee in October of 2016? And yes, I understand that there was litigation, so you were not an acting member until later in 2017. But you were attending meetings. You knew what was going on. So I don't understand why I wasn't finished. I don't understand why you have failed to stand by making this correction, and I don't understand why for 2.5 years you have failed to even once say that how did Mr. Doyle do something wrong with something that is available to all business owners. He was also attacked for not paying taxes, which it was discovered that that was because somebody here failed to sell the bill. And then your supporters have further attacked him, calling him a chauvinist because he chose not to run with you. Why would he? I mean, this is the type of colleague you are. Why would he want you as a running mate? I mean, you have failed to stand by your fellow committeemen. And it is time to move on and have something better and stronger. And it has nothing to do with your gender.
You feel that way?
No, I actually don't.
Thanks, Tim.
I really don't.
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that was coming. I mean, you're not allowed to.
Good evening, Leah Vassalli, 560 Delsey Drive. I'm going to try to talk loud so everyone can hear. I'm not yelling, just to be clear.
You can give it this one.
To address very quickly the tax abatement issue, yes, I did vote for it on the advice of a solicitor who I shortly thereafter fired because he was consistently giving us advice that was contrary to the township's interest. It was a big deal at the time. The real issue is the fact that you sat on the tax abatement committee, the building was already built. My own insistence at the time was, as I recall, they did not want to approve the abatement for Chuck Starr's building, and I said you can't approve the one and not approve the other. From a personal end, I don't have a problem with abatements. I would offer more of them, but the bottom line is what's good for one person should be good for the whole township. If you're allowed to get an abatement after a building's built, anyone should be able to get an abatement after the building's built. I think the bigger issue with abatements is the one that your cousin got without it ever being approved by the Township Committee. That, to me, is the crazier abatement issue. But that wasn't what I came to talk about. I wanted to follow up on what I talked about at the last meeting. I had followed Chris Sanders, who had brought up the issue of the zoning board interpretation of whether solar panels were an approved use for the Grachowski field, which you acknowledged at the last meeting that you formed. You acknowledged that Michael Borelli, who's the solicitor for the zoning board, has represented you personally. You denied that Mr. Hamill from the zoning board, or an alternate of the zoning board, but who was seated at that vote and who could be said to be the deciding vote in a 4-3 split, you said he didn't work for you. I tried to pull up his financial disclosure forms, and as it turns out, he hasn't filed any, according to their records, in the last 2 years. But his LinkedIn account says he worked. I'm going to talk. His LinkedIn account says he works for All American Landscaping. So if you're telling me you don't know All American Landscaping, You know, that's fine, but you can't claim to be this savvy businessman because of All-American Landscaping and at the same time claim you don't own it. If your wife owns it, it's the same thing for financial purposes. It's the same conflict of interest. Just because you put it in her name to be a woman-owned business doesn't make it any less of a conflict for him to sit on his own board and vote on an issue that directly impacts you. He should have recused himself. Now, just to be clear, I did look at your financial statements too, and you don't say that you own All-American Landscaping. According to your statements, you own Cedar Lake Nursery, All-American Sealines, and TV Farms LLC. But the only thing you claim to make $2,000 or more per year from, you or your wife, is All-American Landscaping. So you can be cute and tricky, but it's the opposite of being transparent. So when you run on being transparent, try being transparent. I mean, it's a joke. Anyway, just to give you a timeline, to get back to that vote, the zoning board was advised by Mr. Baroni that solar panels should not be considered an approved use in that business zone. And 3 of the members disagreed, and I give them credit for being independent and said it was an approved use. And the other 4, including Mr. Hamill, who works for All-American Landscaping, but not you, voted no. Then, on May 10th, just 7 days after that vote took place, the Township Committee introduces 2 ordinances, 01222 and 01322, both related to solar panels and where they can go. It was odd. I questioned it at the time. I only wanted solar panels in one specific area. After that, on May 17th, the ordinance went to the planning board, but it was never reviewed, but somehow a letter was sent back saying that the planning board approved of it. Then, on June 7th, the zoning board passes a resolution memorializing the decision of May 3rd. There's a public hearing on these 2 ordinances on, May 24th. The bottom line, because I'm running out of time, I'm going to cut to the chase. The township is sued. The decision, the interpretation is overturned by a judge. So he's saying it is an approved use, and the township has somehow, without making a public decision to do so, it's entered on e-courts, decided to appeal that decision. How is that decision being appealed without it ever being voted on by this governing body? Separate from that, also on 01222 and 01322, in the township a lot of money to try to preserve your own farm ground, and it's going to be overturned anyway.
Okey dokey. How many lawsuits today? I think that's it down.
Austin Brent, 711 St. George Street. I just wanted to come up here and congratulate Mr. Doyle on being supported in the Republican primary by so many Democrats. I'm happy to, be a member of the youth and speak here. Some younger representation will be a good thing in the township, I think. And I'm excited to cast my first vote this year for Mrs. Trace, Mr. Petrovich, and Ms. Heather Flame. Thank you.
You get a motion to close the second public portion.
Okay, motion to close the second public portion.
Second. All those in favor? Aye. Before we go to committee reports, we're going to have a DPW report, a police department report, and an administrator's report. I hope you guys did your homework. So who wants to go first? Way to step up, Brian.
Mr. Mayor, committee.
Speak into the microphone so we can hear you.
I'll speak into the microphone. All right, just real quick, a couple points on one on. A couple months ago, starting in winter time, since we had an easy winter, we were light on snow, we were able to start cleaning up some of the retention basins throughout town. I'm not sure if anybody's noticed. We probably handled about 7 or 8 of them. If anybody gets a chance, they can ride by some of them, you'll notice the difference. It's going to take us a long time to catch up on the lack of maintenance that was done on those. So bear with me as we get through this. And we will hit those basins as time permits. You know, Public Works is pretty busy with day-to-day operations with not only trash and recycling, but anything else that pops up. We have completed all the mulching of the community center, Franklin Lake, Malaga Lake Park, Whitebridge Park, and Forest Grove Park. We placed over 100 cubic yards of certified playground mulch in those locations. Spring leaf pickup is completed. We also completed that on schedule with no delays. And currently right now we're in bulk limb pickup, and we should be done that by Thursday on schedule. Last thing I just want to mention is shred event May 20th from 9 to noon here at the municipal building. And just a quick little update on where we are.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thanks.
Matt, so you wanted to spoke.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I presented my monthly report to the Public Safety Committee today. For the month of April, we responded to 4,388 calls for service. We completed 157 written reports, made 88 criminal and warrant arrests, investigated 56 motor vehicle crashes, made 5 DWI arrests, conducted 1,803 motor vehicle stops, which is a 229% increase from the same month last year, and issued 1,420 tickets, which is a 322% increase from this time last year. We conducted aggressive driver campaign, which was a grant given to us by the Gloucester County Prosecutor's Office in April, and we were just awarded Click It or Ticket for May, so we'll be starting that May 22nd. That's all I have.
Open pickup.
Great. We do have a brand new pickup, and
Didn't in it.
Wow, you're ahead, Mark.
it's nice.
You finished the pickup at the back seat.
Yes, it does. Any questions? Thank you.
Thanks, Matt. Matt.
Thank you, sir. I just wanted to, there was something brought up at the committee meeting, last meeting. There was some misinformation about the township and its finances. So I talked to the tax collector, Ms. Hayes. Over the last 3 years, we have started doing tax lien sales. Because of those 3 tax lien sales, we were able to bring in $334,000 approximately of taxes that weren't paid. The big deal with that is because of every dollar that's bought in for taxes, 78 cents goes out of the township. So basically, if we hadn't done those tax lien sales, we would have been on the hook for $263,000 to the county, to the schools. So that is why we sell the tax liens, and will continue selling them, and are going to be selling some of the 400 plus properties that we own in the township. We are not in the real estate business, and it only benefits the taxpayers because everybody who pays their taxes pays that 78 cents that isn't paid by the other people with tax liens. I just wanted to clear that up.
Thank you, sir. Committee reports, Mr. Marsh.
Myself and the mayor attended the Councilwoman this past weekend. We called for rain all day, but we had a little bright spot. We had a beautiful day. I'm sure the event went well. It was packed. And I'm hoping we raise a lot of money for Community Day. You guys don't know how much time and effort goes into running that Councilwoman and running Community Day. And the Recreation Committee does an amazing job. And they should be applauded for it. Anytime the seniors should thank them, because Community Day's been a huge success for how many years now. And that just benefits that Councilwoman, benefits that day.
Thank you, Mike. Heather?
I would like to congratulate Officer Guzman and Rozo for the Officer of the Month program that we're running. Very good, very nice job. And of course for Rozo. I would like to give my respects to Officer Scheisler in Deptford. Tragic and just a terrible, terrible situation. And I'd like to take a moment and just wish everyone Happy Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to those that are here and those that are celebrating in heaven.
Yeah. Thank you. Jonathan?
Yeah, so I missed the last meeting, but I guess that's when the gloves came off.
We have a communications meeting tomorrow, and we're still waiting on the website that's still in development. I spoke with Mr. Finley the other day about just improving some of the quality of the audio and the cameras in here as well, and I believe we're going out to bid on that soon. And when that comes in, our goal is to make sure that all committees will meet in this room and everything will be recorded appropriately through camera and through audio. I spoke also about Economic Development Committee. The Economic Development Committee did not meet, so we are brainstorming on some ways to help get the Economic Development Committee more involved. I spoke with the chairman about that as well. I did go to the Gloucester County EDC that met, and they have a South Jersey Film Alliance. So New Jersey has initiated and brought back some film tax credits. So for Hollywood studios and other studios, smaller studios mostly, who want to record film or movies in New Jersey will receive a good tax credit. So this is a strong cash flow. The Gloucester County commissioners, they are working with some of the other county commissioners to create this South Jersey Alliance. So I spoke with Mr. Finley and Mayor Bruno on this, on whether or not we want to participate in that. If we do, we will pass an ordinance saying that we will allow for some filming to occur in our local facilities. I think this is a good way to showcase our town. This would also be allowed for residents as well if we so choose. So residents could showcase a large cornfield or a barn, and if some film festival wants to film in a 100-acre lot or something like that, and one of our farmers have that, they certainly have the right to do that, but it's not obligated on any residents, of course. And the Environmental Commission met, but I was unable to attend because I was away, but a great thanks to the park cleanup and everybody who put efforts into that, including Chairman Stivic. I know he does a good job with that, so grateful for him and his work there on the Environmental Commission and everybody who was in the Mount Lake Park cleanup. Last thing, spoke with Mr. Finley as well about the budget. I remember that when I first got here, I said we want to see improvement with the budget. There has been year-over-year improvement since before I showed up, but we are still continuing to make strides. I believe we had the budget released in May or June last year, and right now we are meeting that point, but in the prior year we had a couple of audit notes, and our auditors wanted us to improve our internal controls. So if we meet the same deadline, but we have improved quality, then that's still improvement. So it's not all about speed on that. We are working diligently on the budget. So that is it from me. Thank you.
Thanks, John.
Just want to point out the difference since I've been here the last 3 years. There's three gentlemen right here, Matt, and Brian. I'll talk about Brian first. He's just one guy. I drive around this town, the parks look better, the leaves are picked up on time, bulk's getting picked up. We're not playing catch up, we're looking ahead, we're looking for projects, we're not chasing complaints as much. We still don't have enough funding, things aren't perfect, but I see a difference. I want to thank him, and there's just one guy different. Matt DeCesare, it's like a whole different police department. Give you a lot of credit. Same guys. Morale's really good. I read his budget, 46% reduction in overtime. How do you do more with 46% less overtime? You do a better job. Just getting these guys the cars they deserve, dogs, just doing a great job. And that, our administrators, the numbers are finally making sense. When I got here, the numbers didn't make sense, and Matt's done a great job of organizing and keeping things straight. So I just want to thank those guys. That's all.
I just want to, like Mike said, the Rec Commission, I know I said it last time, they do a great job with that golf tournament. The cannon was pretty awesome. Got to shoot the golf ball out of a cannon. I've never seen that before. Not sure if that's a good idea for everyone, but it worked.
It wasn't a cannon.
No fingers were around Public Works, Brian's, I was down at the community center today, looking around with all kind of grass, looks a lot better. Parks are getting straightened out. Brian has a job to look at the playground equipment at Malaga Park. Probably we'll have to do some, I wouldn't say excavating, kind of raise the level of the playground. I guess it always floods when it rains. Maybe not a good design. We're going to work on that. We're going to work on the park. The beach park, I guess, behind the lake. So, we've got some things happening. Again, the guys are doing a good job, police is doing a great job, and I like the public stuff too. With that said, can I get a motion to adjourn?
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second. All those in favor? Thanks for coming out.